Hi guys, it's Melissa with Kith and Kin back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about the genealogical proof standard. I don't know if you have ever heard of this before. Tell me in the comments below if you have. Basically what the genealogical proof standard is it tells us what the minimums are that we should do for our work to be credible. And credibility is important in genealogy because we want to prove that we know that the information we have is accurate, so that our tree is as accurate as possible, an accurate representation of not only where we came from genealogically, but also in family history. Where did our family move from? What jobs did they have? What siblings did they have? What was their family dynamic like? What did their dad do for a living? All of that information is important when we speak about family history. So the 5 elements to the genealogical proof standard are, number 1, that we do a reasonably exhaustive search on our people. We want to check who their parents are in a document. We want to find who their spouses were, who their children were, if they had any, who their siblings were, where did they go to school sometimes. We can find that information. So not just when were they born, when were they married, when did they die, but what is their story. Number 2, each statement of fact has a complete and accurate source citation. This is very important because you're not the only one looking at this information. This is a public tree, and so others may want to see, well, where did they come up with that? How do they know that? And so this will tell them where that information came from. And in future generations, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will know how you knew that. The evidence is reliable and has been skillfully correlated and interpreted. So interpreted, sometimes sources are in other languages. So a person that is able to speak or read that language would be able to interpret the information on that document. The evidence is skillfully correlated. This is important when you are attaching source information to your person that the information matches. Sometimes it might not match exactly. For example, in census records, the birth years are approximate. Sometimes the name spelling is a little incorrect, but it's reliable enough to prove that information. So evidence is reliable and has been skillfully correlated and interpreted. Sometimes in census records, they spoke to a neighbor to get that information, or, whoever they could find the information from. So keep that in mind when you are attaching sources, that you want it to be as accurate as possible. Number 4, any contradictory evidence has been resolved. Sometimes it looks like a document is your relative, and sometimes later on down the road you find out that it's actually a different person's record. So contradictory evidence would be, I think my grandpa was born in 1920, but somebody by the same name has a birth record of 1925. So you would resolve that by finding out who both of those people's parents were, or who both of those people's spouses were, to see if they are the same person or separate people. There are many ways that you can do that. Number 5, the conclusion has been soundly reasoned and coherently written. And this is important because, say for example, you're copying and pasting information. You want to make sure that when that information is pasted to your tree, that the formatting is easily readable, or that your proof statements are able to understand. So keep that in mind when you are entering information into the database, that you do the due diligence of taking the time to make those statements and attach those sources so that people know why you know that information is correct. And then this is a very important statement. Any proof statement is subject to reevaluation when new evidence arises. So as documents are digitized and that work continues, information in your tree may be proven wrong. And I would be grateful for that, because we want to have the most accurate representation of us as possible. So we adjust and we redo if that information is needing to be changed. And sometimes it further solidifies the information that we have, and that is always a great thing as well, of course. Next, you can find more information about the proof standard by going to the Board for Certification of Genealogists website. And if you guys have any ideas for future videos, or if you have questions or need help with genealogy or family history, leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to help you guys out with that. I'll see you guys back here for the next video. Thanks. Bye.